Hey guys, welcome back. Boy, this was an exciting little project. But I'll tell you what, man, I'm kind of glad it's done. If you watch the live build, what happened was, I'll show you what happened. But I got hung up on the Kopilot for some reason. It was doing things that I'd never seen a Kopilot do before. And I had to end the video because I was kind of out of tricks. I didn't know what else to do to get it sorted out. So I got off camera and I just started doing what I normally do. I break everything down, took everything apart and said, okay, well, let's try a different power supply, different receiver. I tried, just kind of adding things back one by one. And all the way to the very end, it was still doing the same thing. A different receiver, different BEC, different everything, still doing the same thing. And then what I wound up doing to fix it, because I know some of you guys are going to be like, well, what'd you do to fix it? So what I did to fix it was I wound up taking the settings board off and I pulled it out of the Kopilot itself and it still did it. And then when I pulled the settings board off of the other end of the cable, which I don't know why that would matter, it seems like it reset the thing. And instead of having that goofy servo behavior, it behaved normal again. So very strange. Something in the software got stuck in a loop. It didn't like it. And somehow by, constantly going after that settings board and unplugging it, I got it back. So I unfortunately, there's no log, so I don't know what to tell you. But let me bring the video up and I'll let you see what happened. You can see on the left, it's not supposed to do that. It's almost like it was doing calibration over and over again with that board connected. So I did that video because I had planned on sending this back. I thought it was the Kopilot that went south and I thought I'd have to send it back. Yeah. So, right? Pretty clear it's not supposed to do that. Not supposed to do that. That's a weird thing. So, hey, Robert, how's it going? Bill, how you doing? Hobie Kenobi made it back. That's good. Richard Webb, how are you? Ram Jam, hello again. So anyway, I wanted to show you guys that I have it worked out. So what I'm going to do is pop the lid here. I'm going to disconnect. I'm going to disconnect it, reconnect it, and everything is back. And I'm just going to turn it around. I've got the radio plugged in already, so I'm going to show you guys the radio. So here we go. Here's the radio, and I'm just going to operate the controls for you real quick, just to show you that it is actually working. So there's a right turn. You can see the right aileron goes up and the left goes down, and I'm holding it, right? So no changes. I'm going to turn the screen down so we don't blow it out. And I'm going to turn the chat off too, because I want you guys to be able to see this, right? So here's the right turn, aileron up. See, no flopping around. Right? When I did, you guys just saw the video. When I did this, the left aileron was flopping around like crazy. Now here comes the left turn. And notice that the control axis is correct as well. Right? No flopping around. Here's elevator, pulling back on the elevator. So climb, right? Climb up. And then here's a nose down. And then I'll put it in stabilize mode. So let me bring the Kopilot so you can see it. I'll put it in their stabilize mode on. And what I'll do is not touch the radio and I'll show you the controls. So there, let me just set the radio over here so you guys can see the plane. All right, so we'll do a right-hand turn and you can see this aileron goes up. That's the corrective movement. And we'll do a left-hand turn and this side comes up. That's the correct movement. And then I'll do a pitch down and you can see that the elevators are coming up. That's correct. And I'll do a pitch up and the elevators are going down, which is also correct. So it's fine. It's fine. I wish I could tell you guys exactly how to fix that problem, but I can't. All I can tell you is that I solved it, and I'm going to unplug this because I keep forgetting that I have an air unit plugged in, and what I'm going to do is unplug the air unit. That way I don't have to worry about it. So let me just unplug this real quick. There we go. Air unit's unplugged. Now we can play around with it and not worry about things. I don't like that air unit. Those air units get hot. If you don't know that about those air units, they get hot. So that's it. It's kind of a strange thing. I wish I could have I wish I had an answer, and I wish I could tell you. but I'm using the same BEC that I used in the live build. I've got the same splice for my air unit. Everything is the same. It's all the same. The only thing that I did to kind of get it out of that crazy loop was I kept unplugging and replugging the settings board. And the very last time, I unplugged it from the setting board side, not the flight computer side. So kind of weird, right? But that's it. All right, let's go over the build. So let me show you some things on the build real quick. And I want to let you know I am charging a battery. I thought it'd be done by now, but it's taking its sweet time. So we're going to do a little amp draw test on this thing while we're in here. So let's see, put JST plugs on the air unit power wires. Yeah, I might do that. Although last time I used JST, I had it. I was at the field with the Reptile Dragon and it just didn't work, and the JSTs were plugged in correctly. So I'm not gonna worry about it. Normally, what I'll do is plug it in and just go fly. So hey, David Knut, you made it, and let's see, Roby B. Hi, John, how you doing? And what's the process to save the settings with it? See, now, Hobie, that's a great question because that is undocumented. Now, the first time I ever had a problem with one of these boards, I contacted Kopilot, Zod, and I asked them, I said, hey, what's the deal with saving this? And they said, well, we think what you did was we think you disconnected the battery before disconnecting the settings board. So apparently you're supposed to disconnect the settings board first, and then you can disconnect the battery and your settings are supposed to be saved. And I also would have thought that by hitting the settings button and holding it while it does the calibration, I kind of thought that would save it too, but I've not been able to prove that. So to be honest with you, Hobie, that's the question of the day. And I'd love it if Zod would come into the comments and say, here is the exact way that you save the settings. So don't have an answer to that. You guys will also notice I don't have the GPS plugged in yet, but that's easy. On the Kopilot, it's the last thing I do. And I have to figure out where to mount it. I'm thinking about going ahead with my soldering iron and opening up a square right here and mounting it, and then just running the wire inside like that. If anybody has a better idea than that, let me know, but that's kind of what I'm thinking at the moment. I really don't like it on the canopy because I don't want the canopy to get, connected via wire. I try and avoid that. There's no real room in here, no good way to mount it above the ESC. So I'm not really sure. That's kind of the best thing that I've come up with. If anybody has a better idea, let me know. So anyway, we'll get to that in just a little bit. But a couple other things about the build that I want to show you guys. Get with the program, Junior. Sorry, my YouTube stalled. Uh-oh. Okay, a couple other things I want to cover. The wires that came, the control rods that came with the kit are terrible. They're brittle metal, and they have this little V-bend in it. And the idea is you're supposed to adjust that V-bend to get your distance, and I just don't like that at all. I moved them, one of them cracked. So my answer was real simple. I took those things and threw them in the garbage. I put on my quick connectors. I put a Z-bend up here, quick connect adjustment there, and that's it. I will make adjustments to get trim level. I really don't like those little V-bends they put in there. Also notice they have these kind of cool little foam. They're like black foam covers that go over the servos. I thought that was kind of a neat little touch. It cleans it up a little bit. Let's see. Heated in sounds good, John. Heated in. Robert, what are you talking about, heated in? Are you off your meds today? What is heated in? All right. So, and here's the other side again. Quick connector. And there we go. I still need to trim this, and I still need to put some Loctite on those. But, after the initial build video, I wanted to get this thing wrapped up and out so you guys could see it. Let's see what else. Oh, I have a scale. We'll weigh it. But also notice that I had to put a weight right there. That's a 1/4 ounce lead weight right there on the canopy. I put it, that seemed like the best place to do it in order to get it to balance. And that is with the 4-cell battery and the air unit up front. So that's how I got it to balance. So I'll show you the balance real quick. Let's lay that in there. So there's the canopy on, and the balance, this is a little pitchy. It is a little pitchy. So I'm just gonna put my fingers on there and try and give you guys a little bit of a look at the balance, but see it's pitching forward a little bit and then it pitches aft. So it is a little pitchy, but let me show you the marks on the bottom here. So here are the CG marks. I don't know if you're going to be able to see them, but I'll put my thumbs right there. They're little diamonds. Those are the CG marks. I still need to lay in a little tape right there, and I still need to put a little glue on these plastic. I really don't like these press fit connectors very much, but if I have to use them, I make sure to glue those. So a little bit of CA glue just in the corners, and that'll make sure that these don't come out. So definitely put something on there. Don't just trust those plastic, they're like almost like Ziplocs, but don't trust that. Definitely put a little glue. Just make sure you have them where you want them first. They're nice and compressed, and then put a little glue on there. And then anyway, the bottom, the wings glue in. So that's another thing that I did. I used Gorilla Clear Grip. It's a contact cement, so I glue the wings in. So the way you do that, put some glue down, smear it around on the surface, touch the two parts together, let it air dry for about 2 or 3 minutes, and then stick it on there. When you do, it makes a pretty darn good bond. I'm pretty sure that's not going anywhere. Another thing I'll point out too that I kind of wish they would have done is some kind of skid along the bottom. I've got some tape that I'll use, but there's no skid. This is subject to getting torn up. Now EPP is very tough stuff. I'll give it that, but it still would have made sense to me to have some kind of, you know what might be really cool is a 3D part. That might be the right answer. Just a little 3D part right here out of PETG or something like that, just to kind of protect that. That might be something to do. I might have to work on that. And then as far as the motor goes, I'm using the recommended motor. This is a Zing 2205, and it is a 2500 kV. Yeah, 25 or 2600 kV, but it's whatever the recommended motor is. And then I got a Dell prep. I have the motor in the description, so you'll get the exact numbers in there if you want to take a look. Let's see. Hey. We have a charged battery. So let's do a prop test. Oh, and I want to weigh it for you guys too. I want you to see the weight. So this is the weight you're about to see. This is all up. This has got the 4-cell 1550 75C battery, the Kopilot, the DJI Air unit. This is, I mean, I could take this outside and chuck it and send it and it's ready to go. So that is an all up weight. So what I want to do is just make sure I can get it on the scale without any interference from anything around. And so you guys can see it. Okay, off the scale. We'll turn it on in theory. And let's see, I was cooking last night. There we go. So the scale is zeroed out. Let me just set that on the side a little bit so you guys can see the numbers when I set it down. Okay, we're zeroed out. Remember, this is all up weight. There's a battery in there. So 547, of course, the camera didn't get it. So 549, it looks like 548 on the all up weight. And again, oh yeah, the GPS. Good call. Good call, Hobie. There's the GPS. 555, 556. So another 10 grams. All right. Send it, sugar. Yeah, it's ready to go, man. I just got to get the GPS in there and it'll be good. It'll be good. All right, let's do a power test. Let's do a power test. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do this without killing myself and without having the plane fly into my face. So stand by. This may be getting real entertaining real quick. Okay, that battery's out. This battery is in, and let me just put it on the scale real quick so you guys can see we've got a full charge. So let's see. Well, it's 4.18. It came down just a little bit since I took it off, but 4.18, it came down just a touch. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in the plane and strap it down. So that's one less thing for me to worry about. It is tidy. It is a tidy little build. And one thing I like about doing this kind of thing for you guys is you get to, the manuals are really not very good. And I kind of like being able to show you guys what to expect with the build. So if this goes sideways or yeah, there may be some blood. So there's a little prop in the back and it's a 4-cell 2400, 2500, something like that. So yeah, let's just hope it doesn't go sideways. All right. So anyway, I like to show you guys this stuff so you can see what the build looks like. This is ready to fly. I mean, you could chuck this and fly it. Okay. So that's it. Now I got to get my watt meter. Now, this is not my big, obviously. I don't have thrust. I just have watts. So, who's got what's the over-under on the wattage? You guys want to take a look? This is a 22. Let me pull up the numbers real quick for you. Let me get what it should be. This is a Zing 2205, 2300 kV. And they say the do they say the input voltage 4 to 6S, and they don't have any specs. They don't have any specs. So yeah, no specs on this one. I expect it'll be under 30 amps though. I'm guessing it'll be, I don't know, 32 amps, somewhere in there. And I'm using the dowel props. These are the 5147.5 3-bladed dowel props, in case you didn't know that. That's what I've got on for a prop. So 471 to 520 says Robert. Okay. All right, so on this one, I have to plug it in. It's been a while since I used this one, but when you plug this one in, it's got 2 channels. One of them is for below, like 3-cell and less, and the other one's for above 3-cell. So I have to set it to take the higher voltage. Okay, so there we go, 16.4 volts. I've got it locked in my hand pretty well. I got a pretty good grip on that. I should be able to deal with it. All right, so I'm gonna run it up. I'm going to let you guys take a look at the wattage right there. And I've got it. Stabilization on. Stabilization on. Manual mode. All right, there's throttle. I got it. All right, here we go. I'm going to punch it. Let's just see what it does. I'm going to be off mic while I get my face. Yeah, hold tight. I'm going to get myself in a place where my face can see what's going on. $443 watts is what I saw, 27 amps, and it damn near blew my monitor over. So let me do that again, and I'm going to aim it away from my monitor a little bit. Okay, all right, there we go. That should work. Yeah, it almost took my monitor off the desk. So let's do it one more time. So I saw 27 amps on the first one, and I think 447 on the watts. You guys help me out on that. I'm trying to pay attention to what I'm doing here. So tell me what you see on this thing. So the watts right here are in yellow, by the way. There's watts, and then amps is 27.8. The power line's right there. And then the sag is at the bottom. So here we go. Let's try it one more time. I'm going to try and aim it away from the monitor this time. Here we go. Okay, I think I saw 437 on the second run. So Hobie says 445. And, oh yeah, nothing to it. Yeah, there's no temperature on that at all. So, yeah, okay. 447 at 27 amps. It's a 40 amp ESC, so there we go. That's going to be a nice little setup, man. That'll be really nice. I think that'll cruise really well. So there you go. You got at least a look at the power. And sorry, no blood. I know that's kind of fun. Yeah, cool, right? So 437 watts. Yeah, I think that'll do. Man, that's a lot of power. I mean, I've got balsa planes that make, like big foam planes that make less than that. These little freaking quad motors, man, they're kind of impressing me. I'm gonna need to start like doing some comparisons between what I see on these and what I see on the bigger cans, because that's impressive, man. 445 watts on this thing, and you go for pounds. So let me see. I'm just gonna do a little quick math here real quick. Let me do some real quick math. I normally do this on a worksheet or a spreadsheet for you guys. So what was it? 555 grams, right? Convert 555 grams to LBS. So that's 1.2 pounds. And we're doing, so we saw 447. So 447 watts divided by 1.2. That's 372 watts per pound. That's 3D territory. That's 3D territory. That's strong. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculously strong. So yeah, that's gonna pull insanely hard. And the cool thing is, by easing up on the power a little bit and sticking with the 3-bladed prop, I should be able to get that amp draw down and have plenty of thrust just to cruise for a while. So this ought to be fun. I think that ought to be a lot of fun. So we got some good balance. We've got our lock connectors on the servos. The Kopilot stopped being a beep, 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 beep. I don't know what was up with that Kopilot. I've never seen it do that before. The LEDs, by the way, I didn't do that. They were already installed. If you didn't know that, they're already installed and connected, so they were fine right out of the box. That's how, all I did was plug that into the rudder channel. That's it. So, yeah, there we go. Nice and easy on the controls. Oh, and I'll show you the radio config too in case you want to see that. But yeah, nice and easy on the controls. I think it's going to fly fine. I might add a little bit of reflex, so I might take these loose and just add just the, you know, when I do reflex on a wing, I do about that much. Very, very little, just a little bit. And we'll see. Gonna need lots of expo with all that power. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe. I do actually have expo. In fact, since you guys brought it up, let's look at the radio configuration. We'll set that aside and let's take a look at the radio. Let me zoom in and I'll let you guys see what's happening on the radio configuration because that's important. And I'll let you guys in on a little trick that I do with these flight computers, the Kopilots. So in the Kopilot, because it's kind of like angle mode, right? When you fly the Kopilot, it is like angle mode on Betaflight. So when you make a turn, it will only turn so far and then it'll stop, no matter how far you move the stick. So for that reason, when I have it in any mode, okay, so this is a little, I need a pointer. Okay, so here's the deal. You notice I have not SC and SC. So what happens is SC is the middle position for my mode switch. So SC is right here and it's in the middle position right now. That's manual mode. Okay. And let me see, I'll bring it in so you can see. You can see on the Kopilot, there's no lights. If I put it in stabilize mode, both those lights come on. When I put it in return to home mode, those lights will both blink. See how they're blinking? So that's return to home. That's stabilization off. That's stabilization on. Okay, so my middle position is SC, that's stabilization off. And in that case, I have the weight set at 40 and I have some expo. So 40 and expo. And you notice that says SC middle. Then the only other rate that I have is right here. That's aileron. And I do the same thing on the elevator, by the way. So aileron, no weights, no expo, and basically it says not SC middle. So when I'm in any other position besides SC middle, the weights are 100. So if that means return to home and stabilize mode, the weights are 100. So let me put it in return to home. There's return to home. You see how this one went bold? That's not SC middle. So that means the switch is up. Now when I pull this down into the stabilize mode, it goes back to not SC middle or not SE middle, and the weight is 100 again. Okay, does that make sense? Now, it does the same exact thing for my elevator. And then when I put it in the middle spot, that means manual mode, then my weights kick in at 40 and my expo is at 30 and 20 on the elevator. Okay, so that's how I set these up. I don't use, like on a normal airplane, I'll do my rates over here. That doesn't do anything. The reason is because the only time I really fiddle with rates is when I take it and put it in manual mode. So that's why I do it this way. You don't have to do it this way. I just kind of came up with this and realized really fast that when I take it out of manual mode, I instantly, especially on these small wings, I definitely want a little bit less throw and a little bit more expo. Okay, so that's what that's all about. And then as far as the rest of the configuration goes, let me show you. That's the input page. We'll look at the mix. There's nothing happening on the mix. All I've got in the mix, aileron, elevator, motor, rudder. Don't forget to leave the rudder in there because if you don't, you cannot calibrate the Kopilot. You have to have a rudder in there. And then I have my SE switch as a mode switch. That's it. And then on the outputs, I think the elevator, in order to get the elevators going the right direction, I'll pull that in so you can see. Elevator goes up. I had to reverse the elevator. I can zoom out a little, I think, at this point. Yeah, there we go. So when I pull back, elevator goes up. That's because I reversed it here. So it's okay in manual mode if you need to reverse it because you can control the deflection on the settings board for the stabilizer, but you got to make sure in manual mode it works correctly. Okay, so that's it. So my elevators are reversed. Ailerons are going the right way, the correct way, not reversed, in other words. And that's it. That's the motor. That's the radio configuration. There's nothing else. I've got a couple things that'll call out values. When my SD switch is down, it'll read my RSSI value to me every 15 seconds. And then as far as the sensors go, this is the R81 that came with the eSheen TX16S by Radiomaster. That's the receiver I'm using in there. It's S-Bus, and these are the sensors you get. You get A1, RSSI, TRSS, and TQLY. So I actually might do a readout on TQLY instead of RSSI. And then again, it's DJI. So I'll get voltage on the screen from DJI, because remember, the DJI is plugged directly into the battery. Well, the only thing that I have between the air unit and the battery is the filter. That's it. So the DJI will send the on-screen display voltage back, which is all you really need. You get the voltage back and you're good to go. That's it. Kopilot needs full weights for stabilize and return to land. That is, well, it needs well, it needs them to configure. It needs it to configure things. So once you have everything configured and you're not calibrating the board anymore, you can reduce the weights on manual mode if you want to. I've done that, but there's no reason to, because what'll happen is it's got bank and pitch limiting. So there's no real reason to do that. All right. So, but at the end of the day, you know, we're both arriving at the same answer. So we'll leave it at that. So I'll show you again my mixer when I'm in stabilized mode or return to home mode. When I'm in either one of those, I've got 100% for elevator and ailerons and throttle and rudder. Okay. So I think that's probably it. You guys saw the power. You saw what I did in terms of adding weight to get it to balance. You saw what I recommend in terms of getting the control arms doing what they're supposed to do. Again, Loctite. I need to take those off and Loctite those. I also need to balance the prop. I haven't balanced the prop yet, and I need to activate the air unit. But other than that, it's ready to fly. That's all easy, super easy stuff for me to do. Doesn't take more than a few minutes, so I'll get that done. Thanks, Robert, for being a like whip. I appreciate that. 21 watching, 12 likes. Yeah, you guys hit the like button. That really does help out. I appreciate it if you do that. And even if you don't like the video, hit don't like and leave me a comment as to why. You know, that's all good. So thanks, Robert, for reminding everyone to do that. And then Nikolai Brutus just got ELRS up and running. Cannot wait to get started on a wing build with ELRS. How far can you take out DJI? DJI FPV is like 4 miles, but make sure you have clear line of sight. So just keep that in mind. But ELRS, I've got mine ready to go. In fact, I originally thought I'd be putting, if you guys haven't seen that, here's the 2.4 gigahertz receiver. Check this out. I can't even begin to tell you how tiny that thing is. Look how small that 2.4 is. And that's got the antenna on it, by the way, if you don't know. There's the antenna. That little ceramic tower with the copper around it, that's the antenna. Yep, there it is. Look at that. Look how tiny that thing is, man. It's like literally like the size of a fingernail. So very, very tiny. So I really thought I kind of wanted to use it on this build, but then I forgot it. This talks Crossfire, and Kopilot doesn't talk Crossfire. So this has to go on something that can do Betaflight or iNav. So I'll just save it for another project. But anyway, I'm using the one with the T antenna, but that tiny one is so cool. Yeah, this thing is small, man. It's small and lightweight. So what's the range on 2.4? I understand with the T antenna, they're going out pretty far. And I understand with the little ceramic antenna, it's a little bit closer, but I only intend for this to be a park flyer anyway. So that's what I would do at the 2.4 is keep it as a park flyer, you know, something you're just gonna, like a basher, you know, something you're gonna keep close. Well, that's it, guys. That is it on the Diatone Ripper. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and for those of you who stuck around during the build, I don't know what to say. I'm just going to show you guys again. Look at this thing. Watch this video. I don't even know what to say. I've never seen one do that before. That's definitely weird. So anyway, I'm glad we got that worked out. Not, you know, I'll apologize for whatever the hell that was. I've never seen a Kopilot do that before. And like I said, the way I got rid of it was just by disconnecting the lead from the settings board instead of down on the Kopilot itself. And when I did that, it kind of went back to normal. And you can see, you know, it's working great. So yeah. that was definitely a weird thing. I've never experienced that before. So the Diatone Ripper is ready to go. I got a few more little tinkery things to do, and I cannot fly on Monday, but I might be able to get out on Tuesday. And definitely, you know, I imagine this can be like the Reptile Dragon, but smaller. You know, it won't be able to carry weight like the Dragon, but this has got the air unit, man. This is going to be a fun little plane to fly, and I really like the Kopilot. I have a lot of fun with that. You know why? You know, there's a reason I was stuttering. I was thinking, man, this has got the air unit, and I have a little S-bus receiver in there. You know, I can put a Crossfire in there, and Crossfires, you can configure Crossfire to do S-bus. Good luck with the maiden, Bill. Thanks for that. Yeah, this might be. Yeah, don't be too surprised if you see a Crossfire show up on this. I'll tell you what, for the maiden, I'm just going to stick in, you know, keep it in the park and fly it locally. But boy, that would be kind of cool, wouldn't it? This little thing. But see, the thing that lets it down, I think, is the battery. You're not going to have a whole lot. Well, I don't know. We'll have to range test it. And, you know, I think I have some Li-ion batteries too. Oh, well, we'll see. Let's just play around with it. I'll let you guys know how the maiden goes. I'll try and get some video of that. We got the air unit on there, so I'll be able to get some footage on that thing. And long range to the tree line and back. That's right, man. Endurance. We want to be able to keep it in the air for a while. So that's the idea. Is keep it up in the air for a while. But yeah, anyway, cool little plane, right? And not expensive. If you get this at Diatone, or Banggood. Go to Banggood. But Diatone sells it too. Just FYI, they sell it, and it's in stock. So Park Flyer, Robert's laughing at me because he knows what's going to happen. He's like, yeah, that's cute. You fly it around the neighborhood real quick, make sure everything works. And then the very next thing you do is stick a receiver in there and go all the way to the tree line. I mean, it's got the air unit, so the video is cared for, right? So between the air unit, the return to home, and the Crossfire, yeah, it's tempting to, as the quad guys like to say, it's tempting to send it. All right. Well, that's it, guys. That's it for the video. Thanks for hanging out with me. And if you joined earlier, again, I apologize. I don't know what to say. Now, all I can say is that I fought it and won. So it tried to beat me, but it lost. This thing's ready to go. And I'll get video on the maiden as soon as I can. I think it'll be a lot of fun to fly. So be on the lookout for that on the channel. And Bill says, just do it. Yeah, you guys are... Yeah, we're going to have to party at some point. We need to have an RCVR party. I think that'd be fun. So hope you guys liked the video and you like the Ripper, and keep an eye out on the channel. I'll get some footage up as soon as I can, let you know how it flies. But I have a feeling with that Kopilot in there, it should be a lot of fun. So thanks for joining me on Sunday night. I hope you guys have a great night. And that's all I've got for today. Take it easy.